नमस्कार, स्वागत है आपका संसद टीवी में। मैं हूं आपके साथ अमृता चौरसिया। आज राज्यसभा के सदस्य के तौर पर महाराष्ट्र से सुनेत्रा अजित पवार पद और गोपनीयता की शपथ ले रही हैं। राज्यसभा के सभापति जगदीप धनखड़ सुनेत्रा पवार को राज्यसभा के सदस्य के तौर पर पद और गोपनीयता की शपथ दिलवा रहे हैं। आपको ले चलेंगे जहां पे शपथ ग्रहण समारोह हो रहा है। आपको बता दें कि महाराष्ट्र के उप मुख्यमंत्री अजित पवार की पत्नी सुनेत्रा पवार एनसीपी से 18 जून को निर्विरोध राज्यसभा सदस्य चुनी गई। रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर और महाराष्ट्र विधानमंडल सचिवालय के सचिव जितेंद्र भोले ने उच्च सदन के लिए उनके निर्वाचन की घोषणा की। तो आइए चलते हैं कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम, चेयरमैन कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम संसद भवन परिसर में, जहां शपथ ग्रहण समारोह संपन्न हो रहा है।
Yes. Oath और affirmation, सेक्रेटरी जनरल
महाराष्ट्र श्रीमती सुनेत्रा अजित पवार।
मी सौ सुनेत्रा अजित पवार राज्यसभेची सदस्य म्हणून निवडून आले असल्याने ईश्वर साक्ष शपथ घेते की कायद्याद्वारे स्थापित झाले आहे अशा भारतीय संविधानाबद्दल मी खरी श्रद्धा व निष्ठा बाळगीन। भारताची सार्वभौमता व एकात्मता उन्नत राखीन आणि आता जे कर्तव्य मी हाती घेणार आहे ते निष्ठापूर्वक पार पाडीन।
तो आपको बता दें कि एनसीपी सांसद प्रफुल्ल पटेल के इस्तीफे के बाद ये सीट खाली हुई थी। 60 साल की सुनेत्रा पवार सोशल एक्टिविस्ट हैं। सुनेत्रा पवार एनवायरमेंटल फोरम ऑफ इंडिया की संस्थापक हैं, जो 2010 में स्थापित एनजीओ है। राज्यसभा सदस्य के तौर पर इनका चुनाव निर्विरोध हुआ था और पद और गोपनीयता की शपथ लेने के बाद सभापति जगदीप धनखड़ का अभिवादन करती हुई सुनेत्रा अजित पवार महाराष्ट्र से राज्यसभा सदस्य के तौर पर चुनी गई। महाराष्ट्र के उप मुख्यमंत्री अजित पवार की पत्नी हैं सुनेत्रा पवार। एनसीपी से 18 जून को निर्विरोध राज्यसभा के सदस्य के तौर पर इनका चुनाव हुआ था। इस पद के लिए आपको बता दें केवल सुनेत्रा पवार का ही आवेदन प्राप्त हुआ था। सुनेत्रा पवार ने गुरुवार यानी कि 13 जून को राज्यसभा के लिए नामांकन दाखिल किया। राज्यसभा के बारे में आपको बताएं, राज्यसभा संसद का दूसरा सदन है और स्थायी सदन है और भारत के संविधान में ये व्यवस्था है कि अनुच्छेद 83(1) के अनुसार इसे भंग नहीं किया जा सकता, लेकिन इसके 1/3 सदस्य प्रत्येक दूसरे वर्ष सेवानिवृत्त हो जाते हैं और उनकी जगह उतनी ही संख्या में सदस्यों को चुना जाता है। सुनेत्रा अजित पवार ने सदस्य के तौर पर पद और गोपनीयता की शपथ लेने के बाद सभापति जगदीप धनखड़ का अभिवादन स्वीकार किया। इस मौके पर वहां पर तमाम गणमान्य सदस्य मौजूद हैं और भारतीय संविधान में जो व्यवस्था है उसके अनुसार राज्यसभा में स्थान ग्रहण करने से पहले नवनिर्वाचित या मनोनीत सदस्यों को संविधान के 99 अनुच्छेद के अनुसार संविधान की 3री अनुसूची में दिए गए प्रारूप में शपथ लेना होता है। इसके बाद हस्ताक्षर करना होता है। सदस्य संविधान की 8वीं अनुसूची में शामिल किसी भी भाषा या अंग्रेजी भाषा में शपथ या प्रतिज्ञान ले सकता है। राज्यसभा के लिए निर्वाचन प्रक्रिया की अगर बात करें तो भारत के संविधान के अनुच्छेद 80(4) में ये उपबंध है कि एकल संक्रमणीय मत के माध्यम से अनुपातिक प्रतिनिधित्व प्रणाली के द्वारा राज्य विधानसभाओं के निर्वाचित सदस्यों द्वारा राज्यसभा के सदस्यों को निर्वाचित किया जाता है और इसके अलावा 12 सदस्यों को राष्ट्रपति नॉमिनेट करते हैं। राज्यसभा का सदस्य बनने के लिए किसी भी व्यक्ति का भारतीय नागरिक होना सबसे पहली और सबसे अनिवार्य शर्त है। इसके साथ ही उसकी उम्र 30 साल या उससे अधिक होनी चाहिए। और ये देखिए तस्वीरों में ग्रुप फोटोग्राफ के लिए राज्यसभा के सदस्य के तौर पर शपथ लेने के बाद सुनेत्रा अजित पवार सभापति जगदीप धनखड़ के साथ राज्यसभा के उपसभापति हरिवंश भी इस मौके पर मौजूद हैं। साथ ही राज्यसभा के महासचिव पीसी मोदी और इस वक्त ग्रुप फोटोग्राफ का कार्यक्रम वहां चल रहा है। तस्वीरों में आप देख सकते हैं राज्यसभा के सभापति जगदीप धनखड़ के साथ ग्रुप फोटोग्राफ। तो महाराष्ट्र के उप मुख्यमंत्री अजित पवार की पत्नी सुनेत्रा पवार एनसीपी से 18 जून को निर्विरोध राज्यसभा सदस्य चुनी गई थीं और आज उन्होंने इस पद के लिए पद और गोपनीयता की शपथ ली। संसद टीवी पर आप देख रहे थे संसद भवन से सीधा प्रसारण। दीजिए इजाजत, देखते रहिए संसद टीवी। नमस्कार।
श्री रिचर्ड वानलाल मुंग्या,
I, Richard Vanal Mangaya, son of Lalzoma, having been elected a member of the House of the People, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter. Thank you. Kalome. Dhanyavad.
श्री एस सोपोंग मेरिन जामिर, नागालैंड।
I, S. Womaran Jamir, having been elected a member of the House of the People, do swear in the name of God that I'll bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the treaty upon which I am about to enter. Long live Northeast India.
ओडिशा, श्री प्रदीप पुरोहित। श्री CM रमेश।
I,
Dr. C.M. Ramesh, having been elected a member of the House of People, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
Shri Tangela Uday Srinivas, Tea Time Uday.
I, Tangela Uday Srinivas, having been elected a member of the House of the People, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
Shri G.M. Harish Balayogi.
I, G.M. Harish Balayogi, having been elected a member of the House of the People, do solemnly affirm that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by the law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
Shrimati Daggubati Purandeshwari.
దగ్గుబాటి పురంధేశ్వరి అని నేను లోక్సభ సభ్యురాలిగా ఎన్నికైనందున శాసనం ద్వారా నిర్మితమైన భారత రాజ్యాంగం పట్ల నిజమైన విశ్వాసం విధేయత చూపుతానని, భారతదేశ సార్వభౌమత్వాన్ని సమగ్రతను కాపాడుతానని, నా బాధ్యతల్ని శ్రద్ధాశక్తులతో మరియు అంతఃకరణ శుద్ధితో నిర్వహిస్తానని దైవసాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను.
I, Putta Mahesh Kumar Uddhav, have been elected member of the House of the People, do swear in the name of the God that I will bear the truth, faith and allegiance of the Constitution of India as by the law established, that I will uphold sovereignty and integrity of India, that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
Shri Balashori Vallabha Neni.
వల్లభనేని బాలశౌరి అని నేను లోకసభ సభ్యునిగా ఎన్నుకొనబడినందున చట్టరీత్యా నెలకొల్పబడిన భారత సంవిధానం పట్ల యథార్థమైన భక్తి విశ్వాసము కలిగి ఉందిననియు, భారతదేశపు సార్వసత్తాధికారము అఖండతను సమర్థించుదుననియు, నేను స్వీకరించబోవు కర్తవ్యమును శ్రద్ధాశక్తులతో నిర్వహించుదుననియు పవిత్ర హృదయంతో ప్రమాణం చేయుచున్నాను.
Shri Kesineni Sivanath Chinni.
కేసినేని శివనాథ్ అను నేను లోక్సభ సభ్యుడిగా ఎన్నికైనందున శాసనం ద్వారా నిర్మితమైన భారత రాజ్యాంగం పట్ల నిజమైన విశ్వాసం విధేయత చూపుతానని, భారత సార్వభౌమత్వాన్ని సమగ్రతను కాపాడుతానని, నా బాధ్యతలను శ్రద్ధాభక్తులతో మరియు అంతఃకరణ శుద్ధితో నిర్వర్తిస్తానని దైవసాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను.
Shri Lavu Shri Krishna Devrayulu.
లావు శ్రీకృష్ణదేవరాయలు అను నేను లోక్సభ సభ్యునిగా ఎన్నికైనందున శాసనం ద్వారా నిర్మితమైన భారత రాజ్యాంగం పట్ల నిజమైన విశ్వాసం విధేయత చూపుతానని, భారతదేశ సార్వభౌమత్వాన్ని సమగ్రతను కాపాడుతానని, నా బాధ్యతలను శ్రద్ధాశక్తులతో మరియు అంతఃకరణ శుద్ధితో నిర్వహిస్తానని మనస్సాక్షిగా ప్రమాణం చేస్తున్నాను.
Thank you.
different stages of how these coral reef islands are formed. So in world, in a single place, it is very difficult to see different stages of coral islands in a single place. For example, first there will be only a lagoon formed, then there will be islands will start slowly growing. For example, the famous tourist location of Lakshadweep, that is Bangaram and Tinakara, shows a lagoon, very young lagoon. That's why you have very small islands. As the island grows, the landmass will improve. And if you are going to see the orientation of how the land is formed, it will be in the north-south direction. The island will be bulged in the northern side and the island will be formed on the eastern side of the reef. This is because of the southwest monsoon. Slowly the island will start growing from the eastern side towards the western side, and island, one of the medium matured island is Kavaratti Agati, where you could see a sizable landmass covering the half the size of the reef and remaining lagoon, and at the same time we can see a fully matured island as well as in Amini and Andhroth. So these kind of biological diversity, geographical diversity as well as cultural diversity is offered only by Lakshadweep, and apart from that, in simple terms, the Lakshadweep waters are so clean, even if you are going to be doing the snorkeling on a water which depth is more than nearly 20 meters, you will be still able to see the bottom of the water. So that clean the waters are, and this can be experienced only in Lakshadweep in India, and I can assure that even in the rest of the world, this kind of diversity can be seen only in Lakshadweep.
Because these corals are crucial for the growth and sustenance of coral reefs.
Basically, we have to understand what is corals and what is coral reefs. So corals are basically animals, and it is been covered by an exoskeleton, that is like calcium skeleton, like for imagine a crab or a shell based animal. So it cannot move from one place to another place, but it will be fixed to a substratum and the animal will be living. And corals are very tiny animals, so a coral will have a very small amount of exoskeleton around it. So these corals, over the period of time, as it grows, continues after generation, as the animal dies, only the exoskeleton remains and it comes as a rock. You may be carrying a small piece of rock, but that would have been taken thousands and hundreds of years for that entire piece of rock to be formed. So imagine an entire reef that is surrounding this island is to form completely, it will be taking millions of years. So that's the significance of this island.
dominated by reef-building corals.
These islands are once mountains, where these mountains, as it submerges along the surrounding of the mountains, these corals start to deposit and they slowly grow. And most important thing is, corals are specific animals which will be seen to grow only in shallow waters, and it will require sunlight, and it will be requiring a clean water, because if there is going to be dust particle or smaller particles, the mouth of the coral will be closed by this particle and the corals will die. So the very presence of pristine corals shows the cleanliness of this water and how significant this environment is all about. And as the coral reefs are going, these coral reefs will then allow subsequent growth of phytoplanktons, or the producers, the family called as producers, that is similar to the trees of the mainland in the forest. So as these reefs are growing these microalgae and these kind of trees, they subsequently help in the food chain of the other organisms like fishes. So these corals are acting a role of a forest kind of a thing, an environment, a substratum. So once if a person is going to remove, for example, a 1 square feet size of a coral rock, he is just taking away 1 million years of history from here. So we cannot be allowing that. As a responsible citizens, we have to ensure that the environment is protected, because it took 1 million of years for this ecosystem to be developed, and still India is one of the few countries which is blessed to have such a pristine environment, still to have the pristinity within itself. So that's why in Lakshadweep we encourage a more responsible ecotourism, where we encourage people to enjoy the beauty of these corals, at the same time to educate them what is the significance of them, and as a part of education we also tell them do not disturb it, and this applies as much as to the corals to all the forest and beautiful ecosystem that is throughout in the mainland. So it's not only about corals, anywhere else as we go to the forest, let us not disturb the wildlife, let us enjoy that, let us appreciate that.
These corals secrete calcium carbonate, which forms a hard skeleton that provides structure and support to the reef. Over time, as corals continue to grow and multiply, their skeletons accumulate.
निर्मला सीतारामन
ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूँ
कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति
सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगी मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगी।
On June 9, 2024, history was made at the iconic Rashtrapati Bhavan as 7 remarkable women took their oath of office, joining Prime Minister Narendra Modi's cabinet. Representative of Nari Shakti, these women ministers are set to shape the future of Indian governance. Nirmala Sitharaman, a stalwart of the BJP, having served as both defense and finance minister in previous administrations, Sitharaman is renowned for her expertise in economic reforms. Her historic third consecutive term as a minister underscores her pivotal role in the Modi government. Annapurna Devi, a testament to resilience and dedication. From being a homemaker to a member of parliament, Devi's journey exemplifies the power of determination. Her reappointment highlights her growing influence in Indian politics. Anupriya Singh Patel. Anupriya Singh Patel, leader of Apna Dal, Sone Lal, brings a strong political foothold in Uttar Pradesh. Her victory in Mirzapur underscores her significance as a key ally for the BJP in the crucial state of Uttar Pradesh. Shobha Karandulaje. From Karnataka, we have Shobha Karandulaje, a seasoned politician with a background in social work and sociology. Her reappointment as a Minister of State reflects her commitment to agriculture welfare and rural development. Raksha Nikhil Khadse. Representing Maharashtra, Raksha Khadse's landslide victory in the Raver Loksabha constituency is a testament to her political influence. Her presence in the cabinet signifies the BJP's strong foothold in Maharashtra. Savitri Thakur. From Madhya Pradesh, we have Savitri Thakur, a dedicated public servant with a deep connection to her community. Her journey from grassroots politics to the corridors of power showcases her unwavering commitment to the people of Madhya Pradesh. Nimuben Bambhania. Last but not least, Nimuben Bambhania from Gujarat, whose overwhelming victory in Bhavnagar Lok Sabha constituency speaks volumes about her political prowess. Her inclusion in the cabinet highlights the BJP's stronghold in Gujarat. These women ministers embody the increasing representation of women in Indian politics and their significant contributions to the Modi government 3.0. With diverse backgrounds and unwavering dedication, they stand ready to lead India into a brighter future. These women ministers embody the increasing representation of women in Indian politics and their significant contributions to the Modi government 3.0. With diverse backgrounds and unwavering dedication, they stand ready to lead India into a brighter future.
Namaskar viewers, hello and welcome to Sunset TV. I am Tina Jha, you're watching Perspective. On the show today, we're going to talk about India's foreign exchange reserves, which jumped over $4 billion to touch a new lifetime high of more than $655 billion during the week that ended 7th of June. Now, as per data released by the Reserve Bank of India, India's foreign currency assets, the FCA, which form the biggest component of the forex reserves, rose by $3.773 billion to $576.337 billion in the reported week. Gold reserves rose by $481 million to $56.982 billion. The special drawing rights, which are called the SDRs, were up $43 million to $18.161 billion. And India's reserve position with the IMF was also up $10 million to $4.336 billion in the reporting week. So how significant is this rise in foreign exchange reserves? What do the increasing numbers in India's forex kitty reflect about the health of the Indian economy? We'll talk about this and much more in perspective today with two distinguished guests who join us on the program. So let me first introduce them to you. Delighted to have with us Professor Charan Singh, CEO, EGROW Foundation. Professor Singh, glad to have you with us on the program today. And Professor Manoj Pant, former Vice Chancellor, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. Professor Pant, pleasure to have you with us on this edition of Perspective. You know, foreign exchange reserve is not a topic that we discuss with as much prominence every day. So, and since we have two professors joining us on the program today, let's begin by understanding what really forex reserve is, how significant it is for a country like India. Professor Singh, the first question to you, sir. Help us and our viewers understand what are foreign exchange reserves? What is the purpose of having such a reserve, especially for a country like India?
So, firstly, I must mention this is a very important topic and very timely to be discussing this issue. Foreign exchange reserves actually are sort of safety valve for any country. Right. They are liquid assets and they are used for safety of the economy, and they can also be used for some returns. In different parts of the world, foreign exchange reserves have been used very differently. For example, in Singapore, they have been mainly used as sovereign wealth funds, and they're looking for returns. In our country, that's not been the case. Lots of work has been done. I've myself written different set of articles at different points of what do foreign exchange reserves really serve the purpose for. In our country, the most important function it serves is safety. So we are very careful as to what our foreign exchange reserves are. And why did this happen? Why are we so careful? It all started with the 1991 crisis. Right. In 1991, we were left with only 14 days of import cover. What import cover means? I am importing as a country lots of things every year. Do I have foreign exchange reserves to buy those imports? Suppose the export market dries up, can I still buy those essential imports of food, fuel? Now, in 1991, with Russia coming up, and there's a breakdown there, Middle East war was there, India's foreign exchange reserves suffered a severe jolt because remittances stopped. We were only having 14 days of import. Since then, the High-Level Committee on Balance of Payments, chaired by Dr. C. Ragarajan and Dr. Y.V. Reddy, who later became the governor, recommended we should have at least 12 months of import cover. India has been very, very fortunate that all through that time, from 93 onwards, we started building our reserves and we continued to have an import cover of more than 12 months. Right. In that peak, we touched 17 months. The figure that you just quoted, we are still at 11 months of import cover, just reported in the speech by the governor of RBI, yes, which is very, very good. So the safety is the most important thing. Along with safety comes liquidity. Am I able to convert those reserves into liquid assets as I want? And then the returns is the last in our case. In this case, I must mention one speech given by Dr. Y.V. Reddy long time ago, I think in 2008, where he said, when we are running such current account deficits, building foreign exchange reserves is a Herculean task, but we have to maintain it. We have to maintain it from the angle of safety and liquidity, but we are not going to chase returns out of it because we are doing this saving from the deficit.
And the good news is, Professor, that this number has been on the rise for quite some time now. Professor Pant, to you now, even though I did put out a few numbers that we got from the RBI document talking about the different components and the increase that they have seen, but it would be helpful for us and our viewers if you could explain the key components that form the foreign exchange reserve in India.
Well, it's very simple. There are the foreign currency assets, and they are composed. Let me first go back a little bit, be easier to understand, just to few more things to what was mentioned by the earlier speaker. See, why do countries have reserves at all? Do all countries have reserves? That's not true. Reserves are only required by those countries whose currency is not automatically accepted as a means of payment in international transactions.
Okay.
For example, if we buy oil in the world market, we cannot pay in rupees. We have to pay in dollars. So it's required as a reserve mainly for those countries who are not those whose currencies are acceptable ordinarily as a means of exchange in world markets for any transaction. So Germany doesn't need to keep reserves technically. The USA does not need reserves. The UK does not need reserves because they have pounds, and if they have to make payments, they can always print their pounds and send them. So we have a second problem. Apart from the safety issue, we have a problem that we need to make payments in foreign currencies, which we do not have, which we do not normally have. Now, if your trade is always in surplus, that means you're exporting more than you're earning, then you will always have an inflow of dollars or some foreign currency, which would pay for our transaction. That's not true. India generally had a deficit in trade balance, so we need to keep foreign currency in our reserves to pay for those balances. That's really what it is. Very simple. If you buy something, you got to pay for it. How will you pay? The way we pay through the whatever we have in our foreign currency reserves. So that's the simple way of understanding. Now, as the previous speaker mentioned, it is felt that you should have 12 months imports worth in your reserves so that you won't run out of payment possibilities in the world market. So that is as far as holding reserves is concerned. Now, what is safe? There is no answer on this. Is it 12 months? Is it 10 months? It is 9 months? We are maintaining 12 months. But where we are today, we have a different situation. We are not building reserves only for the purpose of safety in paying transactions. We are also building reserves because sometimes the RBI sells dollars or buys up dollars simply to make sure that the rupee exchange rate does not go haywire. We also maintain the rupee dollar rate at a certain rate. So sometimes the buying and selling of foreign exchange, which could be dollars or some other currency, is done in order to keep the rate at which rupee can be exchanged for dollars and vice versa fixed in a certain band. So two purposes. One, to make sure we never run out of reserves when we have to make a payment, because rupee is not accepted as a means of payment. And second, to make sure that the rupee and dollar rate remains in a certain range which the RBI tries to fix. So these two determine the reasons why the reserves are kept.
Okay, Professor Singh, I'll go back to you and try and understand what is a significant amount that should be good enough for a country like India. Currently, our numbers have been a lifetime high. What the RBI